Happy February, everybody. Happy month of love. We're going to be looking at this month the nature of love, the take on the most common form of love, which is marital love, people's views on dating, people's views on marriage itself. We're starting today with why one ought to wait until marriage. Without further ado, I am Jacob McCarthy. This is Foundations of Faith. In our modern age, there's many different ideas on love. Often love and sex are used interchangeably, which is ridiculous, but also is what leads to everybody thinking that if two people are close friends, they're probably also lovers in the night. And it destroys the fundamental aspect of humanity and culture, which is love. Different forms of love, different expressions of love, the different way that people love each other. And so there is a different love other than romantic love. I mean, many of you have pets. Hopefully, when you say you love your pet, you don't mean that you romantically love it. When you say you love pizza, you don't want to marry pizza. You love it. You like it a lot. There's different forms of love. The most common form is the love of friendship. That is a very, very important love, a very good love. And it is very radically different than romantic love. My best friend Peter, I love in a way that is very different than how I love my fiance. Very radically different form of love. So we need to look at what is this form of love? What is this idea of love that we have lost in our culture? Well, we've shifted. We have made sex something casual. We've made it a expectation of dating. And not even of dating, we now call it a standard human need to such an extent that those who take a vow of celibacy or those who wait until marriage are looked at as confusing freaks of nature because this is a standard human need. How dare you deny yourself that? It's not. It's not a human need. It is still good. So the priest and the celibate, the consecrated, give it up as a living sacrifice because it is the natural end of humanity is to engage in this type of love because that's how we were before the fall. It is our nature to do it. I love when I hear people say, oh, I feel called to married life. Well, yeah, we all do. We all feel a call to married life. It's because it's the natural vocation. It's the default setting. So, as I've said that you aren't called to it, most people are. It's a beautiful, beautiful vocation that I cannot wait to embark on. But we changed sex from something marital to something casual. When you take the most intimate act of human nature and make it something trivial, something pointless, and then culture starts to, go to hell. And I think that's a fair assumption to make looking at our current state of affairs. So, now it's easy to look on in judgment and say, you shouldn't do this, it's a bad thing to do. But it's not enough to say that one shouldn't do something, or say that one should do something. You have to know why. If you don't know why, there's no point in you actually doing it. So why wait until marriage? Well, there are many reasons. One of them is, I know a lot of women who have slept around, a lot of guys who have too, and women are always considered the prize, to put it in very crude terms. And something that they'll say often is, oh no, I'm a high value woman. It takes a lot to get into bed with me. All I just heard is, you have your price. Whether it be a nice dinner, whether it be expensive jewelry or a fancy purse, whatever it is, the high value woman who says it takes a lot to get into bed with her is simply saying, I have a price. Well, guess what? That high value woman has slept with, let's say five. Say five people. Oh, that's a very low number nowadays. Well, they're no longer high value. That's five different men who can say that they slept with that woman. When a man has slept with a bunch of different partners, well, guess what? He's no longer high value. There are five, six, seven, however many women who can say, oh, yeah, no, I've slept with him. I've engaged in this most intimate act of human nature with this person. When two people wait until marriage, well, guess what? That actually is high value. Because you can say, oh, well, yeah, actually, no one has slept with my spouse but me. This high value woman that, brags about how hard it is to sleep with her, there's 10 men out there who can say that they did. This, famous footballer or singer who, all the women are like, swooning over, like they're America's heartthrob. Well, guess what? There's, 10, 15 women who can say they slept with him. He's not high value. You get to the marriage bed and you're like, oh, hey, look, I'm all yours. But, 10 other people have seen me like this. But, it's only going to be you from now on. You've cheapened yourself. You've made yourself something commonplace. You are no longer high value. Okay, so that's a very practical reason. But many people might hear that and say, well, I don't care. If I've slept around, I don't care if she has too. The important thing is that we're committed to each other now. Okay. Well, let's go into that. When do you mean you're committed to each other? Because people who have a traditional view of sex nowadays, their mindset isn't, we wait till marriage. The mindset is, no, we have to be dating for at least a little while. Let's say once we've been dating for a month or two, then we'll start sleeping together. Like, wow, you guys are really old fashioned. No, you're not. You're not old fashioned at all. Why would you do that though? Because what you're saying is, no, I want to be something committed before I do this. If you're not married, there is no commitment. If you're not married, the commitment to that act is nothing. So here's what it means when you look at someone and say, I want to sleep with you now. Because we're dating, and we might get married later on. But oh, I just love you so much, I want to sleep with you now. I can't wait. Well, it might sound romantic in the moment, but what is this person actually saying? What are the two people saying when they do this? Hey, I love you. I don't love you enough to wait for you. Hey, I love you. I don't want to marry you. Hey, I love you, but I don't want to commit to you yet. And so I want to have this pleasure before I know if I, want to stick around. And with this comes the evil of contraception, which is an immense perversion of the natural order, saying, I'll have kids when I want to. I want to take away any procreative, holy, God-inspired purpose and meaning from this action and throw it away, because this action is solely about pleasure. You have now turned the other person into a commodity, into a product, into an object of pleasure. You've made them into your plaything. They're nothing more than a toy. And what that's also saying is, hey, I love you, but I don't really know if I want more of you in the world. Hey, you're great, but I don't really want the commitment of kids. I don't want to have to deal with all of that in case something goes wrong. So that's what you're saying. That's what it means when you don't wait till marriage. Okay. What does it mean when you wait till marriage? What does it mean when you get to the marriage bed and you look at your spouse and say, now we can do this. Now we can enter into this intimate, beautiful form of love. Saying, I loved you enough to wait for you. I love you enough to wait. You are so desirable. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. I was willing to wait, however long it took us to get married, to be with you, to see you like this. And I love you so much that before seeing you like this, before holding you like this, before, loving you like this, I committed to you for my entire life. My life is now yours. We are intertwined forever. Before I saw you like this, before I loved you like this. And I love you so much, I want to have children with you. I want more of you in the world. You are so wonderful, so beautiful, so brilliant that I love being with you so much. I want to be with you forever. And I want other people to experience that too, because I want more of you in the world. If we have a daughter, I want them to look like you. If we have a son, I want them to be like you. There are things about you that are so desirable that I want more people in the world to have them. That is the beauty of marital love. That is when you come together as a man and a woman in the holy sacrament of marriage. There is a love that is creative, self-giving, and so utterly beautiful that the modern mind sees it. The contemporary, porn-addled, revolting, shriveled up mind sees that and says, I don't get it. That's weird. Why would you want to do that? They've taken love and made it sex. They took sex and made it common, which means love is nothing and meaningless in their mind. So when they say, I love you, what they mean is, I want to get in your pants. And when they see people who are actually in love and willing to make that commitment, that lifelong, unending covenant, they just can't understand it. We see in real time, through our world's view of love, the beginning of the Gospel of John, when it says, this light shineth in the darkness, and darkness comprehended it not. It's not saying the darkness is like, this is the thing that sort of like, repels us or whatever. The darkness looks at the light and says, I don't even know why you do this. It makes no sense to me. Why would someone do this? Why would someone want to do this? Why? And the light says, because it's light. It's so much better than the darkness. The darkness is like, dark. Frankly, a little scary. That's why children have night lights. They don't like the dark. There's something repulsive and terrifying about it. The light says, no, it is better to be in the light than in the dark. It's better to love properly, love fully, and love wholeheartedly than it is to turn people into commodities, to toys. And so as we embark on this time of year, those of you who are dating, court well, love well. Have marriage in mind when you court. Have marriage in mind when you date and enter into your fancy dinners and your romantic poetry or whatever. Those of you who are married, hold on to this beautiful gift that you have. This covenantal love that is so awe-inspiring, that is so beautiful. Let's celebrate the feast of St. Valentine well this month of February. Cheers.